after countless years of suffering humiliation for his disgusting body. With a leveling system, his family would abuse him as a child and tried standing up for her. The leader called him an ugly. But although the girl tried helping him up, this was the miserable life he'd become used to living. All the other kids bullied him at school. But when he got to middle school, and the only person who ever cared about him, the only thing the senile man had left for Yuya was his house. They abandoned him, and so the years went on until the day of his middle school graduation. His yearbook had the words, "Jump off a cliff and hug the ground." His bullies caught up to him, and even his siblings enjoyed seeing his fat ass getting beat up. His boss fired him for being late. The only thing he could afford to eat was ramen. The same ugly fat man that he saw in the mirror. But as he punched the wall once again, making him wonder if this was where his grandfather hid his souvenirs. But after walking inside, a system message appeared before his eyes, telling him that he has entered another world, and as more menus flashed open, making him realize that he was in a video game, and wondered if he had the highest levels in all of his stats. Even so, the worthless fatso looked outside his window. However, as he saw all the weapons, and decided to go outside to try it, but as he nearly Izaka'd himself again, he gained level 1 swordsmanship. So he decided to overcompensate by holding an actual long lance, and even wield the bow to become the bone of his sword. But he was still level 1 and had no idea how to increase his level. A massive beast began rushing towards him. Bloody ogre as it began picking up a tree to smash towards him. So Yuya realized that he needed to try using his lance before the ogre broke through. The spear ripped straight through the monster's core. Once the monster disintegrated and left behind legendary items. However, his mana was drained. But the system asked him to convert his legendary items into money. But that wasn't the end, because while he slept that night, transforming every inch of his body, when he woke up, he realized that he now had a ripped six-pack, making him realize that his body was now different. Because he didn't want to see his disgusting face anyway, but with none of his clothes fitting, he put on the mystical outfit in the sage's house, since they adjusted to fit him perfectly, as he walked outside. But before he could water them, so Yuya activated his item box to release his God Spear. Among the common loot items, and had already reached level 150 throughout the weeks, and trained every single day. But while he was walking around the fields one night, and leaped into the sky to knock it away. As the sun was setting, he realized that leveling up was getting harder. He knew that tomorrow would be hell when school started all over again. He decided to buy a new school uniform, and all the girls thought he was the hottest man alive. Once he sat down in his seat. But he revealed that he was actually Yuya. he decided to run to the bathroom. Once the day was over, his siblings wondered how their worthless, fat-ass brother became so tall and skinny. But a limousine appeared and a girl with red eyes came out. She revealed that she's been looking for him since the man bullied her. Sorry, I meant she wanted to thank him. And the amount of sperm cells inside of him at a given time, what?
What? What the fuck?
She goes on to ask him if he wants to join also Academy. She introduces herself as Kaori. But when Yuya thought that he was too brain dead for that academy, however, Kaori inviting such disgusting beings to her school. Throughout the years, hearing those words crushed them, while his siblings realized they needed to kill their brother. And when Yuya went on to meet the principal, Tsukasa thanked him for saving his daughter. The principal revealed that he would be paying his tuition. Tsukasa asked him to try attending for a single day first, and went on to bring out the really big guns, saying that she would be his anatomy teacher and would give him a hands-on lesson. Yuya thinks this is the best day of his life and wonders how he's going to develop plot with his teacher. He worries that all the guys might get angry. Then it should be fine. The teacher tells Yuya to come inside. Yuya climaxes inside his pants, and while introducing himself, all the students have noticed the stain, however. All the girls think they want to taste his white cream. What the fuck is going on right now? The teacher gets clapped, sorry. I meant the teacher claps her hands and tells Yuya to sit already so they can begin class. The girl next to him shared her book. He wondered if his stain was really this noticeable. And as the lessons went on, students cared more about learning. All the chicks wondered if he was an idol or if he had a girlfriend, and went on to take him to the cafeteria. So of course the fat ass thought this was paradise after getting their meals. But when Ryo started talking about the new anime he's watching, Yuya realized they were just like him. Shocking Yuya, as he's never been allowed to bring his phone to school, since no one used them in class. Just then, UI realized that all the other students were staring at him. But Ryo invited him to play video games with them once the day was over. So realizing that this was the first time, but instead were kind while actually caring about learning. After leaving the room, but asked him if he would like to go out with her. Yuya wondered if she came to hang out with her friends here. Everyone would avoid her because her father was the principal. Hearing those words made him nervous. Glad that he's been converting his drops so he could afford it. She was happy that she got to spend her night with him. Would cause him to go back to being an ugly fatso. He wondered how she knew it was him even though he was skinnier now. Honest eyes, however, she asked him to call her by her first name. She smiled at him and offered him a piece of her ice cream. But after eating her strawberry cream pie, he offered to give her some of his cream. After Kaori swallowed all of his liquid. But even with his full set of armor. However, he was able to defeat them with a single strike, but realized that he hasn't been able to get past level 200. the only way for him to get stronger. So as he thought of his day at school, ready to face his new challenge, however, he heard the sound of people screaming. Seeing that tens of soldiers were killed, and in the distance, so he rushed forward and launched his spear, but although the ogre parried it, ending his life with a single strike. She screamed at him to watch out from behind, before he could notice as his consciousness began fading. But he knew that he was the only guy who could save this girl. Before summoning his bow to unleash a barrage of arrows, he summoned the Omni Sword and began sprinting towards the goblin. As he approached the girl to make sure she was all right, Yuya wonders if that girl was all right after he left, but knows that the rest of the soldiers came to save her. He realizes that he's been wearing the same Peter Griffin shirt. With all the drops at the mall, he continues walking around and notices everyone eyeing him. On the other side of the mall, because he's been waiting all morning for the boy model, Hot Boy, to be Mew's boyfriend instead, and thinks it's a lost cause. At the same time, so they revealed that they wanted him to write a novel on their faces. But Yuya apologizes because he's not interested in their religion. He leaves and wonders if he treated them right. As he heads down, he comes behind him. Yuya wonders how things ended up this way, and remembers the manager explaining the whole situation to him. But being so close next to a girl gives him a hard time, and tells him that she'll take care of him since it's his first time. Sorry, I meant she thanked him for saving her, and Yuya finally sees the giant cannons pushing up on him. And Yuya realizes that Miyu is amazing, but she's been working so hard. Miyu comes closer to him and grabs him. She hugs onto Yui and engages her laser blasters at full throttle. This poor dude's going to have a heart attack meanwhile, and becomes determined to uncover his identity, to find the person who saved her. And as they keep talking, however, his name is Shu, and everyone thinks he's the hottest guy alive. He's the guy who was supposed to do the photo shoot with Mew, and tells her to wrap up this silly photo shoot quickly. Mew tells him to wait, but he bangs against the wall. In public, Yuya tries to step in and tells him to get off Mayu. Shu is angered that Yuya is interfering and steps on the plot armor. That's what I'm talking about. That's why he's the MVP. That's why he's the GOAT, Yuya's inhuman speed. Allowed him to react just in time and throw him over. Will likely start yelling at him for beating up the hot guy. Become Niagara Falls for Yuya, and think that Shu is lame. They caught the entire thing on tape. He runs away, as he's been constantly causing Mew trouble since he's gone now. The manager offers Yuya to take his position, but Yuya apologizes. He's enjoyed every bit of today. With all of the dedication it takes, the manager respects his honesty and responsibility, since he's not their employee and they can't pay him with cash. Inside the manager's car, Miu reminisces on her events today. And the manager makes fun of her for crushing over Yuya, back in the other world. But decides it's time to train once more. And a giant orc comes from behind. In the last moment, Yuya destroys the monster and saves her. In the most Giga Chat manner, Yuya heals the fallen soldiers and the princess comes. Because she wants to say something to him. 私と結婚してください. Her guards warn her to keep her position in mind. But she yells at them and says it was love at first sight. Yuya has no idea what any of these guys are taking, so he asks them to come over to his house while going inside. The guard is surprised he can live. The girl finally introduces herself. Yuya realizes that she's an actual princess. The guard thinks he might be a spy, but 𝐂𝐨𝐵𝒄𝒊𝒆 thinks he's a royal, so he's going to be royally clapping her. The guard is jealous that he's been defeated, since he rescued 𝐂𝐨𝐵𝒄𝒊𝒆 from nearly dying and has been doing everything. But Yuya wouldn't want to suddenly marry a girl he's just met. After all, every romance novel has these challenges. Falling in love right away wouldn't be fun. So she asks him if he would like to just be friends for now. Yuya remembers all the times he'd wished for a friend. Owen is glad they were able to convey their gratitude, while 𝐂𝐿𝐵𝒄𝒊𝒆's carriage was being taken away by the horses. Before leaving, so they will gladly wait until the day he's ready. And a bandit apologizes for not being able to assassinate the princess. But his leader wonders how 𝐂𝐿𝐵𝒄𝒊𝒆 is still alive if that was the case. After he left, the leader took off his mask, swearing to take revenge for the damage 𝐂𝐿𝐵𝒄𝒊𝒆 has done to him. And realizes that today is the first day at his academy. On his way to school, everyone glares at his beauty. The principal formally welcomes him to the school. Anatomy class is about to begin once again, but Yuya manages to keep it inside this time. During soccer, Ryo outclasses all the players on the field. Yuya is amazed by his pure skill. But she asks Yuya if he's just watching alone. And Yuya has no idea what harem he's been reincarnated into, who rushes forward to try and score the goal. He completely misses and it heads towards 𝐂𝐿𝐵𝒄𝒊𝒆's face, and uses his supreme agility to shoot the ball from a tight angle. And he gets up like Prince Charming and approaches 𝐂𝐿𝐵𝒄𝒊𝒆. She holds it and Akira comes begging for an apology. Ryo introduces Akira to him. Ryo calls him a cringe for begging 𝐂𝐿𝐵𝒄𝒊𝒆 to forgive him. Yuya starts laughing along with 𝐂𝐿𝐵𝒄𝒊𝒆. Inside the plot armor, and Kaori comes to ask what he did this time. 𝐂𝐿𝐵ECH comes to tell Kaori that Yuya jumped in mid-air. While she's bent over, Kaori wonders what this girl is taking, and Yukine says that she can hook her up. All the girls geek out over how cool Yuya is. Kaori and 𝐂𝐿𝐵ECH both scream that he doesn't have one. Kaori is shocked because she's recognized her feelings for him. Yuya stares outside the window and sees Kaori waving at him. A group of bikers break through the gate. Among them are Yui's siblings, since she looked down on them. and you realize how bad this situation is and tries to save her. However, his legs tremble in fear. But the idea of going against his brother and sister, the world begins twisting around him. He slaps his face to regain his cool and tells everyone he's going. He opens the window and jumps out. As soon as he lands, he rushes with blinding speed towards Araki, the person who bullied him his entire life. But with blinding speed, Yuya dodges every single one of their attacks. Araki tries to take matters into his own hand, but just before the bat hits him, before he could reach her. However, Yuya maintains his position, casting him like he's a mere toy. But before he could save Kaori, Yuya evades the attacks and narrowly dodges the wheels. He jumps 30 feet into the sky like Spider-Man. The police finally arrive and arrest all of the delinquents. She thanks him and says she's fine. Ouya's brother wonders how the red ogres were so useless, and says he will end him for trapping them. But he kicks her off. Yuya grabs onto the leader's arm and pushes him off with a single glance. And everyone wonders how he just collapsed, while all the delinquents are being taken away after they've tormented him so much. But he will never abandon his family, and they begin crying as they apologize to him. A few days later, Yuya is ready to go out exploring once more. He remembers Owen warning him about the forest. The monsters lurking here have the ability to level an entire city. He spent his time hunting through the forest as always. He heard a little puppy's bark, and the puppy did everything it could to continue standing up. So Yuya decided it was too dangerous for him to try saving the puppy. And Yuya realized that his grandpa would have never left, and launched it to distract the orc. However, the orc was already destroyed by his spear, but remembers that he was able to defeat a level 300 ogre. So he wonders who this sage was that created such powerful weapons. But Yuya takes out a healing potion and gives it to the dog. And Yuya is glad to have saved it before it perished. The dog nods his head. No. So Yuya asks him if his parents are gone. Yuya goes on to ask if he would like to come to his place. A status window appears, and Yuya sees that the dog is level 500. Even though he's shocked, he decided to give a name to the little dog, and because of its dark fur, among all the rare equipment that were dropped, and begins brushing Knight. He checks the status window and notices that his level hasn't went up, and tells his friends that he's going to a pet shop. Yuya climaxes and tells her that she's rubbing him the wrong way. 𝐂𝐨𝐴 backs off and says that she could go to the pet store with him. This is the second time anyone's wanted to go out with him, and 𝐂𝐨𝐴 wonders if this would be considered a date. But he shows him all the gifts he brought him, so Knight can have a nice leash when they take walks. But Knight nods his head no. The girls are still opening all their floodgates when they see him. She sees his dog. Kaori asks to pet him. She wonders what breed he is. even though he may be wild. But a girl comes from behind and calls out Yuya's name. Kiori wonders if she's the famous model, and Yu is. Knight jumps up and barks hello, and all the people in the park are jealous of the attention. Because she wants to keep seeing him, Kiori hears their conversation. Miu eventually leaves. Yui tells her that they aren't. But Kaori yells at him saying he's wrong. He realizes that something is weird about her reaction. Yua releases Knight to take care of him and drags her to the grandma to make sure she's okay. And Yuya asks Kaori to call the police and begins running towards Kaori with a knife. Yuya grabs his arm, restraining him. The entire park is shocked by his abilities. Once again at night, Yuya enters deeper into the forest to face stronger monsters, to destroy all the enemies standing in his way. But a giant orc appears before them, jumping to bite the orc's shoulder and knocking him down with a smack. And Yuya is glad to see Knight getting stronger, and uses his invisibility right away. But the deer locates his position even with his invisibility active. Knight tries to jump onto its horns to destroy them. At the same time, it activates the Ice Horn's ultimate ability. This is the strongest monster he's ever faced. In a flurry of speed, Knight begins jumping across the entire field. At the same time, while it's on cooldown, Knight bites its neck, and Yuya sinks his spear deep into the deer. The more they need to change their tactics. Yuya stares at the items the deer dropped. It is a portable bath, so he decides to use the item. This is exactly the type of item UI has been wanting. The next night, it's over level 600. The hedgehog readies another attack. While it's stuck, Knight kicks it in deeper. It's been weeks of this training, and Knight has only went up 10 levels. Before they head home, an entrance to the cave opens before their eyes. Torches begin to light the way, with a notebook next to it titled The Book of the Sage, and begins reading the sentences that follow. Whether it was magic or martial arts or even cooking, I entered the realm of gods. But I decline the strength you possess now is more powerful than you can ever imagine. Yuya kept reading the sad story of the sage. So the sage's voice responded in his head. And the book said, Yuya said he would like to know magic. And the sage said, the sage went on to say that he can't use magic. For people in this world, magic travels through the blood vessels. Since you lack these magical pathways, the sage will bestow his own magical pathways upon him. So he wishes for someone to carry them. The book's magical aura begins to overflow the entire cavern. The sage's last wishes. Yuya thanks the sage for his gift and wishes him a peaceful rest, trying to learn the words written in the text. envisioning the elements surrounding him. At that moment, he unlocked the magic manipulation skill. Might has also unlocked the same ability. He just needs to use his imagination. Inside his backyard, he raises his hand and tries to cast a water ball. And Knight was able to successfully cast the spell as well. So they launched their water balls towards the trees. Inside the king's castle, the king asks the soldier. The soldier is glad that they were able to find him, who proposed marrying the strange man. But the soldier tries to say that he didn't say anything, wondering how a person could try to steal his darling daughter away. Continues pondering about the words written inside the sage's book. The teacher informs everyone that they will be studying off campus. Kaede is glad that she was able to join Yui's team, and Akira comes up and bestows his noble elegance upon them. Harem member number 4 enters the chat and introduces herself as Rin. But she thinks it's no wonder everyone's infatuated with him. Kaede is excited for the time they're going to spend together. Kaede suggests that they all go shopping together. They head to the mall and Kiori thanks them for inviting her along. And Ryo is shocked that Yuya managed to become friends with Kyori. And Kyori suggests a backpack for them to take out. Ryo and Shingo wish they were that bag. After a nice long day of shopping, and Shingo is an idle simp. He's never played one of these crane scams. Allows him to spot the perfect angle, and with a single try, he is able to win the reward and impress all of his friends. So he spends the rest of the day. This is the first time he's ever done something that made others happy. A few hours later, Ryo suggests they go have some tea, but the girls decide they will split up. While they're shopping, a wire that's been chewed begins to spark. Shingo asks Yuya if something is off, and laughing the entire time. The fire alarm went off. Yuri runs to try and go upstairs. Ryo gets a call from Katie and the others, and her voice struggles to breathe. Ryo tells him what she just said. His friends are pushed downstairs by the security, and Yuya continues running to try and reach the girls. He makes it to the 13th floor. Have no chance of keeping up with the fire. He envisions water and air surrounding his body and enveloping him, and tries to find the passed-out girls inside the bathroom. All 3 of them have went unconscious from all the heat. He screams Kaori's name. He manages to make it just in time. With his awareness ability, so he carries the 3 girls and covers all of them with water, but finds that all the debris has blocked it off. But he has no time to worry about that. There's only one option left, and destroys the floor like a falling meteor, and run to make sure he's okay. His friends yell at him for being so crazy to run into the fire, and the firefighters lecture him for his actions, and thanked Yuya for saving everyone. Yuya handed Kaori the charm he won for her. He walked home that day. He wondered if this is how a family was supposed to act. But when he came home, Knight ran up to him and hugged him tightly. That magic is just the materialization of one's thoughts. Before his eyes, a light flashes that sends him deep inside the forest. He is able to use magic to teleport. Together, they head inside a cave and spot a couple of goblins. Immediately, the drops were filled with rare equipment and overpowered properties. On their way back, Knight barked at him. He activated his invisibility, surrounded by tens of goblins. But as 𝐂𝐨𝐴 began rushing in, he's acting strange, and a giant beast struck towards the tree. The girl had disappeared and fell from above. And the three goblins jumped towards the girl. However, her defense was compromised. While she was unconscious, but 𝐂𝐴 jumped from above in the last moment and ended them. And hundreds of goblins appeared from the shadows. So 𝐂𝐴 pulled out a secret weapon and used his divine whip to annihilate all of the enemies. So 𝐂𝐴 carried the girl to his home before it was dark. But Knight growled angrily. But she ended up falling and smacking the back of her head. Seeing her pain, 𝐂𝐴 tried handing her a cure-all potion. But Knight continued growling. And 𝐂𝐴 asked her why she was in such a dangerous place alone. She came up with the excuse that she was just training. She thanks him for carrying her away when she was so filthy. So 𝐂𝐴 asks her if she would like to take a bath. She wonders how 𝐂𝐴 managed to get such a rare item. She's never heard of a person strong enough to defeat one. Luna tries to reveal that she came here on a customer's request, but 𝐂𝐴 didn't hear anything. A thought enters her mind. Since it would keep both of them safer, 𝐂𝐴 decides to stick with her so he can protect her. Excited by hearing this, she comes out of the curtains so he can penetrate her defenses with his sword. The next morning, their training goes on like this for a few more days. Growing stronger through each battle, their coordination increases, leaving it for Knight to strike him down. But she tries to humbly say, but 𝐂𝐴's always thought she was strong with her threads. Luna says she needs to become stronger before completing her mission. With the night approaching, and Luna promises to give it her all before their last bath at night, and wonders why they change their usual order. Luna comes to explain that they will be doing it together. Yeah, boy, she climbs inside and hugs him, thanking him for helping her when she was so selfish. Because of him, she was able to grow, and he has saved her. And she says that this is the first time in years, and these moments are valuable treasure for her, so she will wash his back for him. She gets up and 𝐂𝐴 climaxes. It's just the shampoo. She looks at it and realizes what it actually is. On the bus to the trip, 𝐂𝐴 plays cards with his friends and yawns. He struggles to stay awake. After a while, he tries to sleep on the bus, wondering if his extremely high luck. Even though it's not on purpose, 𝐂𝐴 wonders if this cheat skill, but thinks that it's not possible. The teacher immediately tells everyone to get ready. They're going to be camping on their own for 2 nights. Today, so the teacher says that they will let them know if things are safe. The nurse will cure them because with her miracle elixir, Akira thinks that they might as well just starve for a day. To top that all off, they must sleep inside the forest. Deep in the forest. Akira thinks that his elegant skills You're a victim. She tells Yuya and Kaede to go fishing. And Akira is depressed that everyone treats him like trash. At the river, all the students have gathered to fish. But Yuya thinks he has a better idea. And Kaede sees all the fish, but wonders how they're going to be fishing in shallow waters. Remembering the things Luna taught him. They will be afraid of humans. He uses this to his advantage, catching it with his bare hands. All of the guys wonder how many hours he's spent playing Valorant. The entire bucket was filled with fish. Back in the other world, inside a shop filled with dolls. She wonders if the sharpness of her strings have increased. He was beautiful, she thought. If only she'd met Uya sooner. But she's a professional assassin. After fishing for hours, Rin sees the amount of fish Uya caught with his hand. He tries to ignore what she just said, like he's ready for plot development, and scans all of it to remove the dangerous items. But since none of them have made anything in their life. Inside the food inspection area, and asks her how things are going, and opens her mouth while looking up at him. The teacher investigates their food and says they did a perfect job, and for all of it to be edible. However, she tells them not to relax yet, because one of them needs to cook the food. All of them point to Yuya. And if he manages to get her the bonus, Yuya gracefully cuts all of the food up and fries the fish, creating a delicious dinner for all of them. None of them responded, and asks him for a taste. She takes a bite, but freezes in time. However, they scream that his food is incredible. It's the best food they've ever eaten in their life. Thinks that he's managed to cook foods. At the hotel, throughout all this time, he'd been eating all of his meals alone. But seeing that his food brings joy to people makes him happy. The teacher asks him if he would like to marry her. But she goes on to say that she's a slob. And because of her work, so even though her bonus and job is on the line, all the students think the grape juice is destroying her mind, but she clings on to him. Kaede tries to tell her that Yuya is the most useless, disgusting loser on the planet. Emotional damage still. Miss Swada doesn't care, saying she'll wait however long it takes. But everyone tells her that a useless person like her. Their words start making her tear up. But she jumps up and hugs him to her plot. And all the guys wish they were the ones experiencing this intense. Even Akira wishes he could have some teacher plot. But poor Yuya passes out from suffocating in the heavenly pillows. But Yuya saw and felt more than that. Back at home, he jumps to hug Yuya and is excited to be reunited with him. and is glad to see Knight eating it, seeing people enjoy his cooking, and tells Knight goodbye. Every single guy realizes they're growing, and Yuya wonders why they're all staring at him. Struggling to breathe, Akira says that his body is outrageous. Not only does he have a hot face, so he wonders how he's ever supposed to compete. Meanwhile, in the girls' changing room, and Rin starts playing with them. She tries screaming for the other girls to save her. How her plot is taking the entire show's budget. Because Miss Sawada has the biggest plot and is trying to marry Yuya. The next morning, Akira is crushed. The girls head off to gather food before starving. He tries to play it off cool and runs towards them. They begin looking for plants to make into breakfast. The tree before him is filled with bear claws. As soon as he's realized what it could be, and begins chasing them all away, the giant bear enters the camp. Miss Sawada tries to help them, which stops the bear temporarily. But as they ran, Miss Sawada tripped and fell. But before it could reach her face, using his professional UFC moves to wrestle the bear like a Russian, shocking every one of the students. And she tells him that she's okay. But since he protected her, Kuruga ni makinaga. Nimatsuyo, looks like I'm gonna need some backup. FBI him, come on in. While they waited for the FBI to arrive, the bear but the creepy nurse suggested using her medicine, and Kaori came running in. And if he was to ever attack again, this was the way they dealt with the bear. Back at his house, it was finally the day to meet the king. Approached her using his lance towards their leader, but he managed to cast it away. Ouya evaded the attack and summoned a giant hammer. One of the items dropped was a rare helmet, and a rabbit spied on Ouya while he tried it on. But Knight was apprehensive once again. The guards were about to escort him back to the king. Knight still felt like something was off. The tree above Yuya begins collapsing, and in an instant, he noticed the strings were the ones that Luna used. And Luna is angry that her attack managed to miss. Yuya knocked her out while he's invisible and saw her mask falling off. Lexia came running and asked him if he knows this girl. He thanks Knight for trying to protect his feelings, and apologizes to Lexia because he wants to treat her injuries, and wants to talk to her one last time. Lexia says it's fine, and the guards come running towards her. She tells them that she's going to be home alone with Yuya. Poor guards can't get a break. Back at his home, after explaining his relationship with Luna, what magic he used to move them from the mountains to his home, called teleportation, and she gets angry with him. In this world, teleportation magic exists only in fairy tales. It will destroy all of society and lead to war. Lexia makes him swear that he won't use it in front of anyone. Ouya agrees, and she thinks that she should expect these things from him. Luna gets up, and Lexia tells her she's noticed since the start. 𝐂𝐿𝐵𝒄𝒊𝒆 tries asking her about her background, and Yuya tells her that he also wants to know why she tried to do this. As a child, she was a homeless orphan. It was all she could do to keep living, and decided to take her in. But he also taught her the means of survival. Like him, 𝐿𝐵𝒄𝒊𝒆 wonders if he was someone from the Dark Guild, the infamous guild that specializes in thievery and assassination, and completed countless assassinations. After all this time, Luna goes on to reveal the elimination of the first princess. This is how they ended up here. The moment she attacked the princess, the Dark Guild will dispatch assassins to end her. She wonders why Yuil would care. But Yui tells her to shut up. He says that it's true that they barely spent any time together. So he wants her to stop saying such sad things, and tells her to stop assuming that she's going to die. But 𝐿𝐵𝒄𝒊𝒆 says that she's going to become her servant from now on, and they will keep her assassination a secret. Even the Dark Guild won't be able to reach her, who's ended countless people's lives with her disgusting hands. As she gets on her knees, wondering how she gets them to be so soft, that it's not because she was constantly bathing with Yuya. Meanwhile, the poor guards are running for their lives. But she pledges that she will obey her. 𝐿𝐵𝒄𝒊𝒆 tells her to explain what she was saying about Yui's bath, because Yuya has a bath drop item that not only recovers fatigue. 𝐿𝐵𝒄𝒊𝒆 thinks it's not fair that she's been getting to experience this. She tells Luna that they're going to be doing it together. But Yuya remains a typical anime virgin and rejects, it should have been me, not him. It's not fair while bathing together. 𝐿𝐵𝒄𝒊𝒆 asks if Luna has feelings for Yuya. She doesn't buy her lies. But Luna tells her that she's just imagining things. But Luna tells her that she can't be doing that, and realizes that she just sold herself out. It wouldn't be a problem, while she thinks he may be desirable as a training partner. Hearing her confession, 𝐿𝐵𝒄𝒊𝒆 decides to declare war. Those feelings are definitely love. This will now be a battle. But Luna strengthens her resolve and screams that Yuya will be hers. After the bath, Yuya prepares to get dinner ready, but 𝐿𝐵𝒄𝒊𝒆 tells him that she will be the one preparing dinner, and realized how difficult it is to cut it up. What nutcase slashes a knife like they're trying to fight a goblin? But 𝐿𝐵𝒄𝒊𝒆 puts all of her power into a slash. Knowing she'd be useless, Yuya prepared dinner for both of them. 𝐿𝐵𝒄𝒊𝒆 ran to hug Yui's arm, so she asked him to feed her his meat. So she opened her mouth and was prepared for his long. Yuya fed her his meat. 𝐿𝐵𝒄𝒊𝒆 begs Yuya to feed her as well. Sticky sour cream, he thinks he's had enough. Hey, yo. They sleep together. In the morning, Yuya brings the girls to the guards. Owen wonders who the girl behind him is. The girl who tried assassinating her. Luna realizes this bitch only thinks about Yuya's meat. 𝐂𝐨𝐧𝐭𝐚𝐭𝐨 commands them to stop. She would be able to take all of them down. Owen is still suspicious of her. But 𝐂𝐨𝐴 says that Luna could have just assassinated her last night. Owen wonders if his ears heard that right. After hearing that, and decides that they'll just be careful around Luna, with his school starting again tomorrow. And Owen starts hysterically laughing. The guard tells him that he can make it to the capital. On this path, Luna bids him goodbye, and 𝐂𝐨𝐴 tells him that she's going to see him in her bedroom. Luna got off the horse and ran towards Yuya, and tells him that this is her declaration of war. But the poor man's gone hysterical after dealing with all her bullshit, and wonders why Luna kissed him. Plot development with Night. As they bathed together, Inosuke's cousin decided to join them. He appraises the stats of the little boar and possesses the Holy Ground special skill. Wondering what it does, he asks the animal to activate it, and a magical dome begins appearing around them. He picks him up and decides to give him a name, since his skin looks like the color of a sunrise, or Japanese for dawn. He notices that Night's disappeared, letting him know that he's about to be late for school. And the teacher introduces today's new competition, and the results will affect her bonus. The first game they will be playing is soccer. The teacher begins the match and score a goal right off the bat. Rin wonders how she could help them advance their lead. All the men have been distracted. In what school does this type of shit happen? Just asking for a friend, why the fuck you lie? Why you always lying? Why? Oh my god, everyone's been distracted. But Akira only cares about Yui's plot. So he runs off with the ball, and Rin realizes her plans backfired. But Yui has graduated from off-brand Blue Lock. Ryo tells him to throw the ball as far and as hard as he can, and sends a strike straight into the enemy's net. But all the people are shocked with the ball tournament approaching, and a man handed him an invitation to join the entertainment industry that a teenager would really reject. But Yuya humbly says that he's enjoying his high school life and thanks them for the offer. He walks out of the car. The assistant shows them this month's magazine, and they see Yuya sitting next to Mew. The manager tells her to hurry up and suck him off, and the manager lays her eyes on it, thinking she has a great idea if she could and catch Yuya playing with balls. Pause, she will create the next bestseller. And with this, before leaving, new flashes, her tip, her glasses, her glasses. Deep inside the forest, Night casts his waterfall spell, and Yuya launches to slash down at the skeleton. But Yuya ends the battle with his sword. He still feels like his fluidity is lackluster. Heading deeper into the forest for tonight. Or as we call them, BBCs, he tells his companions to be careful. After seeing the real 𝐂𝐨𝐧𝐭𝐚𝐭𝐨, and sends him launching towards the tree, and sees that it's a level 10 mithril boar. but the boar continues assaulting him. It charges one final time, and a flash of light kicks the boar away. And it tells the boar to disappear. 𝐂𝐨 notices how all the hard black trees were destroyed. It tells them to hurry up and show them their kicks. With all the confidence in the world. But the rabbit says, "Joe, that one there was a violation. Knight thinks he can do better." The rabbit thinks there might be some potential there. And the rabbit smiles, thinking there's some talent there. And sends a ripple of wind that penetrates 4 hard black trees. And after hours of training, he finally takes down a tree with just the wind of his kick. Now that he's finally made some progress. As days passed, they continued sparring. The bunny reveals that he's chosen 𝐂𝐨 to be his successor and pass on their techniques. Protect the world from the vial. Those vials are the physical incarnates of malice that crystallizes. The bunny tells him that he could reject the title, and battling the vial becomes inevitable. And since the bunny can't see the limits of 𝐂𝐨's talents, even after hearing that 𝐂𝐨 says that he would rather not, so he wishes to continue training, the rabbit was impressed with his determination. But on the condition that he teaches him magic along the way, that manages to block the strongest creatures of this world. So the bunny begs 𝐂𝐨 to train underneath him, and looks forward for them teaching each other everything they know. 𝐂𝐨 runs for his life from a level 3 King Mithril boar, and he tells 𝐂𝐨 that the vial they're going to be fighting. But even though it was much more powerful, to crush the boar down after finally defeating the enemy. And 𝐂𝐨 sees all the SS rank items that were just dropped. And the rabbit says there are still triple S rank and X rank items. So it isn't possible for him to defeat them alone. Telling 𝐂𝐨 that he has reached a critical level. This is one of the rarest things for a human, the rabbit explains, but at least there's no change to his appearance. And the manager tells 𝐂𝐨. A giant man appears and 𝐂𝐨 thinks that this dude, the assistant recruited this guy, and people call him the sniper. After a single serve, he sends the ball flying past 𝐂𝐨, and 𝐂𝐨 remembers feeling this energy before. He thinks this guy is nothing. He swings at the ball hard enough to create a hole in the table. 𝐂𝐨 wonders when this show is going to get any budget. She begs him to play with her volleyball. Sorry, I meant play volleyball, and all the guys think it'll be an easy game now that he's on their team. And they also lost an entire gymnasium. And the matches continue being dominated by 𝐂𝐨's teams. Because not only is the show's budget being spent by 𝐂𝐨, but also their entire camera company's net worth. But they hear a man screaming and see Kaori leaving the match, and begs him to take her teammate's spot in the match. And he tells 𝐂𝐨 to watch out for the serve. The opponents think this is a sad outcome. Kaori serves the ball but completely fucking misses. 𝐂𝐨 tells her that it'll be fine with her second serve, but the bitch is out to fucking kill someone. 𝐂𝐨 finally realizes which server he actually has to be careful of. And the ball nearly flies out of bound and continues countering all of their attacks. and Kaori thinks that she will finally be useful. How the fuck does it fly behind her? To secure their victory, and he stops Kaori from falling down. The manager secures all the photos she's needed. And she asks him if she could ride his pole. I meant she asks him to come over because he saved her once again. Yuya tells her that she doesn't need to do anything. She wonders what he just said and asks him to close his eyes. She got closer and Yuya thought this was the nicest smell he ever felt. But she tells him that it's a secret. Inside the forest at night, and casts magic to attack the vial in front of him. But he reveals that he's still just learning under UA. The vial revises the target for elimination. The energy disperses from the vial's body. The bunny realizes her powers outclasses in every single way. Theory was home alone with Yuya, because the only ink he wanted to release was the one from his pen. Their final exams were coming up, but Yuya was feeling overwhelmed. Kaori realized she had a genius idea. If she would be able to come over and study at his house. That's how she ended up here. She got up and asked Yuya to use the bathroom. Yuya felt nervous, but realized that she didn't know where the bathroom was. She had discovered the entrance to the other world. She apologized for not knowing where the bathroom was. After he heard those words, saying it was connected to another world. But she was unable to cross through. He'd finally clogged the plot hole. But he still needed to clog Kaori's plot hole. So Yuya explained that it's a world, and went on to show her the water magic he'd learned. When he defeated the delinquents, Kaori finally realizes that it was strange how he could do all that, and asked her if she would like to see the other world, and all the unique plants that never grew on Earth. And 𝐂𝐨𝐧𝐭𝐚𝐭𝐨 is from the 𝐨𝒏𝒄𝒊𝒆 species, something similar to the pig family. And Yuya explained that it measured her various abilities. He noticed that all of her stats were 10 times higher during his first day here. But after he leveled himself up and transformed his entire appearance, because his past self was a person most people wouldn't accept. Disgusting as shit. Here we go again. Kaori only wants to see more of this world. But Yuya says it would be too dangerous for them to explore today. She begs him to promise that he will adventure with her. He asked her if they could keep this a secret between them two. After all this special secret between them. While he walked away. Meanwhile, and she thinks, but once they remove all the obstacles from his way, at the royal castle, the king is glad to see his daughter. Owen apologizes because a lot came up. If this new girl had anything to do with the situation, which interrupted Yui's schedule, and wondered how she's alive after failing her mission. The king grabbed his sword and promised to bring her death. But the king was unable to get any closer. And regardless of her defenses, so she restrained his arms from moving, and says that she hates him when he acts this way. So she tells him to respect her decision. But the king has been sent to a different realm. He tells his daughter that he understands. After she released him. So he asked Owen to learn more about Luna's background. Owen revealed that she was from the Dark Guild. He made Luna and Lexia spend the night at his house, and didn't expect that his daughter would stay at another man's house. He will become his sword's next victim. That night inside the Dark Guild's tavern, and hears about the news of the headhunter. When he heard those words, it's only a matter of time before his king, the man explains, so he's going to reveal his trump card. They will infiltrate the castle, and if things took a turn for the worst. A week later, Alsace Academy went on a 3-day break. With his void bow, he eliminated a rare sheep. After traveling for hours, Yuya finally reached his first city in this world. It finally felt real to him that he was in another world. Inside the Pawn Star's shop, and thought he was an upper-class noble. The man asked him what he was trying to trade. From inside of it, Yuya took out a bunch of spices, but the man was surprised to see such exquisite glasses on the table. But this is the first time he's seen such high-quality products, so he offers to buy it for 100 gold coins. Yuya wonders how much the coins are worth. He just missed out. He reveals that in this country, to live a wealthy life for a year, he gives him a guild card so he can be identified in this country. At night, Yuya continued traveling towards the royal capital. Akatsuki tried pointing him towards the castle, and when he made it there, hearing those words, Yuya was shocked that he will be meeting the king. But Owen comforts him by saying it's just an unofficial audience. And Yuya sees Lexia and Luna standing next to each other, and asks him if he was the man who saved Lexia, and screams that he will eliminate the bastard. But the king promises to also execute Owen for his insubordination. The king introduces himself as Arnold. But Yuya apologizes because it didn't cross his mind, and takes out the paradise bed from the void box. And the king approaches him in plot development. The king was ready to execute him, saying Yuya probably didn't know the customs of their country. Giving a bed to a woman is the equivalent of a marriage proposal. The king promises that Yuya will become this sword's rust. A group of assassins circulate around them. The king commands the guards to fire. To nullify their attacks, they begin trying to attack the royal family, but Owen and Lexia hold a few of them off, neutralizing all of them with a few kicks. But he delivers a gut punch to knock him down. Luna reminds him that he's getting awfully bold. After they'd restrained all the assassins. It was the Ryger crest, the one Lexi's brother carries, because of the circumstance. Because their entire country is in danger, while the king was sitting inside his room, about Owen's request of helping their kingdom. But before he could open it, and asked him if she could show him around the capital. After 𝐂𝐨𝐵's scenes, my man's arm and mouth were literally frozen in time and space. Because Lexia is planning on making moves onto Yuya. However, Lexia says that she just wants to show Yuya around town. So Luna says that she can be the one showing him around instead. But Owen comes up with a genius idea. Because it's more interesting than their flat surfboard bodies. What did he say? Both of them reject his plan. Inside the town, Owen watches over them from a distance. But Luna cares more about seeing the blacksmith's long swords. Ouya wonders what he should do. All the men in town get jealous of him. Because the only blood he senses is the one going to his dick. Yuya saw the Adventurers Guild emblem. He revealed that on his way here, so he might as well register with an Adventurers Guild. Luna decided to make registering him their priority. He will be able to make way more money from trading monster materials. Luna walks away to register with Yuya. When she's her bodyguard, however, Luna reveals that in her free time, so Lexia should just register with them. She runs after them. Inside the guild, Lexia draws everyone's attention. But Luna says she's just trying to protect Yuya. And Yuya wonders if he's going to have to register both of his pets. But the receptionist says that he doesn't need to, as he filled out the paper. Types, and Yuya thought that saying he's mastered all categories. So he decided to list wind. One of the questions asked about his magic energy capacity, and the receptionist explained. Ouya wonders if he could just write down the number. But the receptionist revealed that most adventurers. Luna measures her capacity and the crystal ball glows yellow. Yuya wonders what level yellow indicates. In an instant, the sphere lights up and breaks in front of everyone. And Luna wonders if his seed is as potent as his magic. But Luna says that threads are the only weapons she's managed to. She notices that he can use 3 different types of magic. So she reveals would put him in the realm of legendary heroes. So Ouya reveals that he does their papers from the magical device. And at F rank, there will be no minimum quota regarding their leveling. Because the plants would stop growing in the area. Knight was building up some courage to pick a chick up at the bar. The receptionist introduces herself as Roxanne Fuck. I wonder why she's always coming up on my mind. I guess it's because she always makes something else come up. Lexia wonders if there were any quests. But Luna tells her to shut the fuck up and quit being a pick-me. It's not ridiculous. That's not ridiculous to say that. And from behind Isekai, she asked him if he would like to come and do something with her, and wishes she could go on a horse ride with his long. And she introduces herself as Gleena and walks off. Get angry that their cutting boards couldn't distract Yuya. And Owen thinks that if Gleena rubbed up on him like that. After turning 40 in the middle of the field, Yuya began collecting healing herbs to complete their quest. Lexia was enjoying gathering all her herbs. Whoever gathered the most herbs would develop plot with Yuya. Because the show ran out of budget, as the girls gathered herbs and saw that he had dropped all of his herbs. While the show kept just zooming in on grass, they began riding the horses away, and Yuya remembered how Owen warned him about the prince. And as soon as they tried entering the door, as soon as he saw that Yuya ran in, seeing the prince was holding a knife up to one of the soldiers, freeing the soldier from his grasp, and tried letting the rest of the soldiers run. But he began crazily running around, swearing that he would become the second person in all of anime. This was his master plan, and that it would start a whole new trend of isekai victims. The man began trying to slash towards him, and as night distracted him, knocking the prince down with Akatsuki's help, the guards finally surrounded him. As they were ready to take the prince away, and a girl appeared inside. She said that the prince had failed and that he was no longer needed, and she went on to say that he was unlucky of putting him in the throne. But she revealed that her real plan was, this entire time she'd been tricking him and will now dispose of him. But an arrow parried her attack. The trajectory of the arrow must have come from the outside. She claimed that she was alone because this attack was all her, saying she has the ability to predict all of their attacks. Yuya wondered why she's doing this, and launched all her arrows towards Yuya. Yuya summoned an energy barrier that rendered the arrows useless. But after hearing Yuya's name, Yuya told her that he was Yuya. But unfortunately, she will have to use the power of Vile against him. There was no other choice, so she decided to retreat for now. Owen wouldn't let her go, as all the soldiers treated one another, because he needs her in his harem. But no one was home, so she walked off, while they were waiting inside the castle. But Owen came inside to invite Yuya to Riger's hearing. Lexia wondered what was going to happen to her brother. Inside the main room, Riger was struggling to fight, and revealed how scarred his body had become. But Riger told Lexia to stop pitying him with that gaze, because the years of pain from her magic outburst consumed him. And through all this time, when even his own family treated him like a criminal, everyone in the entire world began treating him like a disgusting. His words reminded Yuya of the awful past he used to live through. However, Yuya tried asking if he could use a special item. After getting closer to Riger, I beg your pardon, his wounds instantly healed. And as he ran to inspect his face, Yuya tried explaining. And the entire room was tired of how overpowered he's become. Undetectable flower, and the king asked him, so, to crash this economy even after all of his injuries had been healed. However, Lexia told her father that she forgives her brother for attempting to assassinate her. After all, she was the victim, just like how she forgave Luna. Lexia said, but the king said that he was also attacked. He tried wheezing out of it. so they can get back to being a normal family, and pressures him until he accepts. Riger thanked Yuya, and the king wondered what Yuya's reward might be. But Luna also wanted to become his wife. Riger thought he came up with a good idea for rewarding Yuya, with the title Knight Baron. He decided to fall asleep. In his dreams, but he was instantly crushed under the weight of her arrows. He realized how scary his battle with her was going to be after a long day at school. And the guys asked him if he wanted to hang out with them after school. But Yuya started running home. On his way, Kaori asked him if she could come over. "You're a victim." As he ran home, he remembered Riger explaining how he met the girl. He remembered her telling him that she was the Vial. He began training right away. He wondered if his master would have known how to handle the fight. Just then, Night began growling in the air. He realized that the Vial had already arrived. The only thing she desired was revenge. After letting those words out, and he was eerily cornered into the path of her bow. But after no one answered, because it's not like she wanted to see him naked in his bath. "You don't find that suspicious?" As she walked to the other world, and remembered him. In the distance, she heard massive explosions coming, and the Vial was firing all of her explosive arrows towards Yuya. But she continued raining her arrows towards him instead. But she dodged both of their attacks. Yui's armor transformed into a white color. Night smashed her into the ground. So she began begging her master for his strength. Yuya was back to running away, and white-haired Kiori noticed her in the distance. Her arrows nearly destroyed Kaori, but curved towards Yuya to catch him off guard, left him with his back facing the Vial. In that instant, Usagi appeared to deflect the attack away. He was busy doing some digging for carrots because he's a bunny. She was the successor of the Divine Archer. By eliminating everyone in this world, humanity were the ones who betrayed and eliminated him. So she doesn't care about the well-being of humans, and began launching her arrows towards them. And the bunny encouraged him to use his legs. But Yuya missed his attack and was nearly blown away by her arrows. And she launched a tornado towards Yuya and destroyed her arrows head-on. And Usagi kicked her straight into the ground. Her back had been crushed. Not until she avenged her master and destroyed every single human. And her evil god magic began overtaking her body. As Yuya wondered how he could possibly handle her attacks, and ran towards the center of the battle. And a blue orb encapsulated the entire field. And Usagi realized that Akatsuki wasn't just an ordinary pig, with no powers left, but caught her before she fell on her head. Who could oppose Vials in this world? As for what he's going to do with her, since Akatsuki's power had removed all of her energy, and began jumping away as Yuri began waking up, Yuya wondered what kind of person the Divine Archer was. and overflowed with love beyond measure. Kaori finally appeared, but a giant pig was ready to end her. As he walked past her, he was an overpowered man with a cheat skill. He wasn't a person everyone wanted. However, she told him it's not true because he hasn't changed, and he saved her once again. He thanked her, and in the following weeks, because in the other world, his brother and sister had become his stalkers. Inside his new life, Yuya looked at ugly-ass Kaori. Sensational, ugly, disgusting. Fatso loser. My fellow legendary plot masters,